That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
It's a beautiful morning.
It's time. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. Yeah. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper. It is week 12. We are ready, and the Jester is ready, even waking up with us this morning. It's time to wake up with TSS Fantasy. We're glad you're here. Let's get the introduction started. Welcome into the studio, Justin Jesus Herrera.
I'm glad that the Jester's here because I can't quite do the yeah. It's iconic, man. It's iconic. I'm glad you came in today, man. But yes, TSS Fantasy. Love this. Let's go. We are going straight into playoff season, and you're gonna need more TSS Fantasy. So hit that subscribe button. We got great things to give away to you guys. You got one of 5 chances. That's right. 5 times. You have a chance to get something from us, either the Damian Harris jersey or any of the other stuff. And guys, obviously click that notifications bell. It's obviously early in the morning and I'm just a little bit off right now, just as always, but it's kind of seeming like the normal, right? The norm was me being a little off right now. But anyways, hit that notifications bell because you're going to want to get in on all of our normal shows throughout the week. And I'm just going to let the Jester take it from here because I ain't got nothing else.
And good morning. By the way, before you get started, welcome. Good morning to Fourth and Flex, Vandy. You guys go check them out. I know they have some great stuff.
Good morning.
To them as well. Flex of the week bringing in. All right, welcome into the studio. Better late than never. Fred the Jester Reyes.
I am ready. I had to get my cup of coffee. My eyes were puffy, but I'm ready. Let's go. Listen, after Thursday games, how good and close they were, I am ready for this weekend. I was amazed. I thought there were going to be a couple of blowouts. I'm ready for some good football way down to the stretch. Let's go.
Yeah, we had some great games on Thanksgiving. Indeed, hopefully it's a good prelude, as you alluded to, for this weekend. Hope to have some great games on. But if you're sitting at home right now, if you're watching us on Belly Up TV or the Fantasy Football Network, you definitely want to hit that subscribe button, as Justin was talking to earlier. Why? Because you want the Jester Stack.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That Jester Stack isn't hairy. It's filled with gifts, wonderful gifts for you. A Damian Harris jersey, a signed jersey, sorry, my bad. A signed Jamison Williams jersey. Hopefully he'll be hitting the field here soon. A signed Andre Reed jersey. We got a signed Chris Johnson jersey and a signed Jerry Jeudy's helmet. We're here. We're going to give it away for you for Christmas. Crazy enough. We got to get on it. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, guys. All right. Also, don't forget, go to tssfantasy.com. Our rankings are up, so you can go there, shop, and compare like I always say. And also go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We're going to double that deposit up to $100. Lots of great fun daily prizes they got on Underdogs themselves. So use that free money. Get out there. You've earned it. Justin, why do we do those crazy things?
Well, as my boy Nick would say, it's because we can. But you know what, Nick? It's also because we're the fantasy show of the people.
And that's what's important, the people.
The fantasy show, the people indeed. Vandy, by the way, he wanted to shout out that he's a little worried about one of his picks on his flex. He had Kyron Williams. A little worried about him, he said today, but he's got a feeling. So listen, like I always say, if you got a feeling on someone, go with your gut indeed. So if Randy says it, you better listen up. He's flexing all the way for you this Sunday morning. All right, listen, we got to get to the weather because believe it or not, some of these games are going to be impacted today by this weather. Let's get to the weather report.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
This isn't just snow, this is flurries. It's coming down, and it clearly affected Matthew Stafford.
Oh, it's going to be a bright, sunny day in South Florida today. That is for sure. But let's get to that in a second. Talking about the weather around the league, Bucks at Cleveland today. Guess what, guys? It's going to rain, and it's 52 degrees. Winds are at 13 miles an hour, so it's going to affect Leonard Fournette. As we heard, is out for this matchup. So Rachaad White, you should really buy into stocking him. He's part of our DFS. Hopefully you bought in early in the DFS lineup because I'm sure his stock's going to go way up now because he's going to have a pretty decent day against, again, we'll get to the fantasy stuff later. Cleveland 31st against fantasy running backs. So, again, watch out for Rachaad White today. Cincinnati at Tennessee. It's cloudy there today, 56 degrees. Winds, though, 15 miles an hour. So, again, a little bit of wind could affect your kicker and the passing games in these matchups. Also, Chicago at New York Jets. It's overcast there today. It's 48 degrees, and the winds are 7 miles an hour. So it doesn't seem to be too much of a weather-filled game there today. Atlanta at Washington. Guess what? Rain again, and it's 49 degrees there. Winds are 11 miles an hour. So again, this is an Atlanta team that likes to run the football, so it's kind of playing into their hands where they can run. Washington, look out for Brian Robinson. Look out for Antonio Gibson as well. Denver at Carolina, light rain, and that one 65 degrees, winds at 15 miles an hour. So, again, if you got kickers in these particular matchups, you might want to watch out. Maybe you want to defer to someone else. Baltimore at Jacksonville, mostly cloudy there today, 71 degrees, winds 14 miles an hour, so a little windy there as well. Las Vegas at Seattle, light rain. So a little bit of rain. So it's supposed to be light, 44 mile an hour winds, 44 degrees, 9 mile an hour winds. Watch out for the little bit of weather there. The Rams at KC, mostly cloudy, 48 degrees, 10 mile an hour winds. Nothing real crazy there. New Orleans at San Francisco, clear skies. In California, 63 degrees. 3 mile an hour winds, so weather won't be impacting that matchup. Green Bay at Philly tonight, light rain, 61 degrees, winds 14 mile an hour. So again, some weather playing some impact in some of these matchups. Ones you don't have to worry about, LA at Arizona, that's in a dome, and then Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. So 2 dome games, don't have to worry about your kickers. But again, take heed in some of these matchups. It's going to be windy, it's going to be a little rainy. So you have kickers, quarterbacks, that kind of such. If you can defer, might want to do so. All right. Well, speaking of deferring, we're going to bring our injury guy in because we got some big injuries news to talk about. So let's bring him in, Brian Scott from the injured list.
Evans came in. Oh boy. Let's hope he's okay.
Welcome in, Brian Scott. Not waking up in Vegas, unfortunately, this week, but we are happy to have you nonetheless. Welcome into the studio, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Appreciate you being here. And I know it looks like another, once again, busy week for you, my friend. Who we got on your injured list?
Well, as I go down the list, there becomes increasingly more and more guys who are out. So let's start with the guys who are actually in. Gus Edwards is making a return. He'll be suiting up. Probably going to be on a snap count, though. I wouldn't expect him to get a full workload. He's coming back from that hamstring issue, but he will be in the lineup today. Chargers are without Mike Williams. He's going to be out with that ankle injury. However, they are with Gerald Everett, their tight end, who will make a return today after practicing in full Thursday and Friday. So he's good to go. We should see Kyler Murray suit up for the Cardinals. It is we'll have to see how mobile he is, but he has been cleared. He's been practicing, and he should be suiting up and starting. Also, Marquise Hollywood Brown was officially activated off of the injured reserve. So apparently he's also going to be suiting up and playing today. First time that him and DeAndre Hopkins will be playing together side by side all season. So that helps Murray, especially given his little hamstring issue. Matthew Stafford is out for the Rams, still under concussion protocol / neck injury. Not quite sure exactly what's going on there. Sounds like the neck is actually the issue, but he's still listed under concussion protocol. So he won't be able to play until he gets cleared from that. As we know, Kadarius Toney's out for the Chiefs. He tweaked a hamstring yet again. This kind of brings us back to his days with the Giants when he was dealing with both hamstrings. Not sure how long he'll be on the shelf, but if it's any indication, he missed about 4 weeks when he was on the Giants with these hamstring issues. The Chiefs will get Juju Smith-Schuster back. He cleared concussion protocol, practiced in full with no issue, so he'll be suiting up again. Unfortunately, though, their running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, was placed on injured reserve with a high ankle sprain, so he'll be out minimum of 4 weeks, possibly the season. We'll see how he's able to bounce back. Jameson Williams should be making a return, or should be making his debut, I should say, coming off his ACL reconstructed knee. They're saying it's probably going to be a week 13 return, so not quite yet. Hopefully we'll see him back next week. We'll see how he's able to ramp up in practice. Leonard Fournette, as you already pointed out, is out with a hip pointer. Kind of surprised by this one. Hip pointers are typically just a contusion to the front part of the hip on that bony prominence there. So I thought he'd be able to play through it with some protective padding. His second week that he's going to be missing because of it. Not sure why. Most guys will play through this, so they could just be taking it easy given he's a veteran. But like you said, we'll see the rookie running back suit up today. Jamar Chase is going to be out another week. They were optimistic that he might be ready for today, but he's not going to be. We might actually see him next week. He's been practicing. He's been running without symptoms. Sounds like they're really going to gear him to be ready for next weekend. Joe Mixon's out with concussion, still under concussion protocol. He hasn't practiced all week, so we won't be seeing him. We'll see how he's able to ramp up his activity in practice. As we know, Kyle Pitts is out, IR, MCL injury, surgery, unfortunate for them. The Broncos will be without both Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. Jeudy with an ankle, Hamler with a hamstring injury. This is his 3rd week out from that. Jeudy hasn't practiced since his ankle injury, so it's not looking good for next week either. Have to keep an eye on that. The Broncos also lost Chase Edmonds to a high ankle sprain. He was placed on IR, so he'll be out for 4 weeks. Justin Fields dealing with a separated shoulder, not a dislocated shoulder, as initially was reported. 2 distinctly different injuries. I thought maybe he'd be ready to play this weekend, but they're saying that no, he's not going to be playing. He will be out. I do expect him back next week. It's something that most guys can play through with some protective padding. So we'll see what he's able to do. I think he was actually practicing and limited, but we'll see going into next week. Rondale Moore is out with a groin injury. He will not be playing, officially listed as out today for the Cardinals. And PJ Walker, he's still out for the Panthers with a high ankle sprain.
Wow.
I will now open up the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jamar Chase thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I had him in my Dynasty League, and I just threw him in earlier in the week just because I figured he might finally be going, so I'm glad you brought that up. Fellas, anyone that Brian didn't bring up that you were had thoughts on? Justin, how about you?
Shoot, it's hard to remember if you had brought him up or not, but Josh Jacobs with the calf issue?
Haven't read much about it. Take a look and see if he practiced. If he practiced this week, you'll probably see him. If not, he could be or even if he did, he could be limited. But he didn't pop up on any of my reports.
Yeah, he popped up kind of late actually, because I just actually noticed it this morning myself, and Justin brought up as we were talking. So yeah, definitely something to take note of with Josh Jacobs owners. At least kind of take note, see what the latest is. This is a 4 o'clock game, so that kind of makes your decision a little bit harder, going forward. But just again, look at what the experts are saying and kind of take heed there.
Yeah, he's officially listed as questionable, so it could be a true game time decision.
Yeah, so one of those things definitely need to watch out for. But like I said, 4 o'clock matchup, so it's going to be tough. Hopefully you got something to offset him. All right, well, if we don't have anything else for Bry, we're going to send you off, my brother. We appreciate you coming in for Week 12. Justin, you look like you might have had something. Did you have something else?
I was just checking the list real quick. I just noticed that also Allen Robinson, he's come up as a questionable because of his ankle, and I was just reading about it. And I was just wondering if you had any notes on him.
I haven't seen much, but what I did read was that it sounds like he's not expected to play, so it must be pretty significant, although he didn't pop up on any of my lists. So this could be something that maybe he was dealing with. I'm not sure if this is an acute injury, but it didn't sound optimistic. He might be out.
Yeah, it was something that literally just popped up today, like the Jacobs one, so that's why I was kind of wondering if you had any more knowledge on it.
Unfortunately, no. I like you said, it was a late addition, and
Right.
I'm not sure if this is an acute injury or something that he's been dealing with. But the most recent reports were saying that he's not likely to play.
Well, he wasn't going to be on my roster anyways, but thank you.
All right, Brian, before we send you off, let everyone know where they can follow, subscribe, and get all your great content, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Twitter at host Brian Scott. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, The Injured List Podcast, and on my website, theinjuredlist.com. As always, we put out a weekly Inside the Medical Tent article on the Belly Up Fantasy website, so check that out for additional information. And usually here every Sunday at 8, bright and early, for the last-minute injury updates at TSS Fantasy.
Nice. We appreciate you. Got a nice shout-out from Bandy from Fourth and Flex. Saying you the man, Brian. We appreciate you coming in, giving your expert analysis. We're going to send you off today with our boys Jay's plugs of the week, like we normally do on Sunday. We appreciate you, Brian. We'll see you next Sunday.
All right, my pleasure.
Tell him to just have the meeting without me. I don't care if I'm dude. I'm working on some stuff in fantasy football. It's more important. Okay? Well, then tell him I quit. Okay, whatever. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Jay the Plug here with his plugs of the week. Gonna make this really quick. Of course, I'm back at the office, which I probably won't be here for much longer because I just quit because this is more important to me. So, to start you off, start everybody against the Houston Texans. Anybody you have with the Dolphins, go for it. Yeah, that's fairly simple. Dude, go!
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
Another running back that you should definitely start. Latavius Murray. He is going to get a ton of work. What's funny is a lot of people say, oh, he's not that great. No, Latavius Murray has always been a very good running back. Now, he might be a little bit of a disease or a cancer whenever it comes to going to a team just because it ends up taking out the other running backs. But he always fills in nicely. So, start Latavius Murray. Dude. Last but not least, Paris Campbell. Definitely coming into his own, Matt Ryan. Loves him. And he's playing Pittsburgh. So, pretty good little matchup. So.
You're fired!
What do you mean I'm fired? I quit.
Screw you! You're fired!
No. Wait a minute. If I get fired, don't I get severance? Okay, man. Well, it looks like I'm fired, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.
You're fired.
Jay bringing his plugs of the week, now unemployed. All right, let's go to our favorite time of the show, the mailbag.
You've got mail.
Well, we've had a busy week of mail indeed, boys, because look, I mean, it's getting clutch time. We're getting down the stretch, so people got some decisions to make. Let's start with Justin. Start right off the bat with Vaughn in 60 seconds. It's Jalen Hurts versus Green Bay or Kyler Murray versus the Chargers.
Ooh, nice matchup. I wonder how you got Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray on your team, but I ain't gonna lie, that sounds like a pretty good one. Let's go with you know what? I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts. You know, I don't know, like the doc said, I don't know what's gonna be going on with Kyler Murray and running. I know Jalen Hurts is gonna run the ball at any chance he gets. He's gonna get the opportunity to run that in. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts against Green Bay. And I think it's going to be a very entertaining fantasy bonanza type of game out there.
And what, you think the Eagles and Packers game is going to be a fantasy bonanza?
I think they're both actually going to be fantasy bonanza type games. I think it's going to be a back and forth between a relatively good team and a bad team that, you know, has a good quarterback. I mean, both matchups kind of set up that way.
Yeah, no, I like it. All right, let's go with the Inglorious Staffords. So you got Tom Brady at Cleveland or Derek Carr at Seattle.
I'm going to go with Tom Brady at Cleveland. Derek Carr's receivers are a little bit hobbled right now. Seattle's defense is pretty tough. It's in Seattle, so the 12th man to be rocking right now. They know they need that win. I think Tom Brady, this is his time of year when he starts getting set up for the playoffs. So I think I'm going to go with Tom Brady today.
All right, interesting. I'm going to Justin's next. It's interesting you brought up the fantasy bonanza because I know you like this other QB today. So this one's from when Harry Comet Sally. It's Aaron Rodgers at Philly or Jacoby Brissett versus Tampa.
Man. So do we go with the Swain song for Brissett? You know what? Unfortunately, I got to go with Rodgers on this one. I think that they have to stay afloat, and somehow they're going to be able to, you know, stay in this game, and that's going to be Rodgers. It's going to be all Rodgers if they stay in this. And Brissett, while I love Brissett, you know, at the end of the day, he's still one of those guys that usually hangs around the 15-point range. You know, Rodgers can bump that up to the 30-point range just off his arm alone. So I'm going to go with Rodgers today.
Playing a tough Philly D is going to be interesting. Tampa tough D too, though, so going to be interesting for sure. All right, Fred, from this one from Dalvin and the Chipmunks, it's Marcus Mariota at Washington or Matt Ryan versus the Steelers. Oh, you're on mute, apparently.
Said it, yeah, that's what I said. Can you hear me? So I was just reading about this just now. So Mariota at Washington and Ryan. I'm gonna go with Matt Ryan only. Nope, I'm lying. I'm gonna go with Mariota because it's gonna be a close game, and I heard Chase Young is now definitely out as of 40 minutes ago, which really hurts the Washington's defense. So even though Washington's at home, I think Chase Young is a difference maker on defense. I'm gonna go with Mariota on this one. I think he could run and pass the ball today.
I think it's important to note those weather conditions, though, too. If it's going to be a rainy game and Marcus kind of equals that out, Marcus Mariota might not see. But, again, he could see a lot on the ground. It's all about those fancy numbers for sure. All right, let's go to the next one, Bateman and Dobbins. It's Russell Wilson at Carolina or Ryan Tannehill versus Cincinnati.
Jesus Christ. Why is Russell Wilson still on your team? Get him off your team. I'm going to go Ryan Tannehill 100% with this one. I mean, it's not even my hate anymore. Like, Jesus Christ, look at the freaking numbers. This guy cannot play football. He is corny as shit. And your team is probably sucking right now because he's on your team. So get him off your team.
Sounds like a lot of hate coming for Russell Wilson for sure. Hey, this is one of the live comments we'll go to here. This is from our boy Bandy from Fourth and Flex. He's going to flex one of these guys in his lineup. Sanjay Perine, I mean, he's all by himself today going against the Titans, or Latavius Murray, another guy all by himself today. He's going against, I had it in my head, Panthers.
The Panthers, yo.
Had it in my head.
Let's see here. Tennis. You know what? I'm gonna go with Latavius Murray. I like Perine a lot. I really do, but Tennessee is tough, and that's a big game today. I like Carolina just there. They're mediocre. I think Latavius Murray, he's gonna run the ball a lot, and he should be handed the ball a lot. To be honest with you, they have any chance of winning this game.
Appreciate the question, Bandy. That was a good one for sure. Two guys today who find themselves in a lone man in backfield. I don't think they were expecting anyway. All right, let's go to Justin. Kenneth Walker, Texas Ranger, Travis Etienne Jr. versus Baltimore, Damian Pierce at Miami.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. I'm gonna go. Man, that's a toughie. If you can get both of them in, go for it. If I have to pick, though, I think I'm going to go with ETN because I think Miami's going to figure out that Damian Pierce is everything to that team and try and shut him down immediately. At least with ETN, he's got a quarterback. He's got a wide receiver. Both teams are kind of soft against the run, but, I guess Miami's probably going to be blitzing and trying to keep Damian Pierce down the ground because who else do they got to worry about? Kyle freaking Allen. Last time he was on the field, he threw an interception to Nick Bosa. I don't think they got to worry about him too much.
I know. I know. It's just going to be one of those. Man,
it's a trap game. It's definitely got trap game written all over it.
Oh, it is. I'm like, I don't want to talk too much shit. Like, I'm just like, okay. Like, I walk out a W. I don't even care if it's a 3-point Jason Sanders field goal. I'm good with it. I don't even care at this point. All right, let's go to the next one. My OnlyFans page. This is Latavius Murray at Carolina or Najee Harris at Indianapolis.
Wow. I was talking to Justin. I made a comment to him last week about Najee Harris. Maybe he's on his upswing, but I just don't see Carolina holding down Latavius Murray. I'm going to go with Latavius Murray. Like I said before, he just seems like the better play. Russell Wilson has to figure it out. I don't think he's as bad as Justin says. Just hand off Latavius Murray the ball and do a little play action here and there. But I'll go with Latavius Murray at Carolina. Indy just a little bit better.
Carolina 27th against fantasy running backs. I mean, that's really a way to go. Colts a little better, 16th. I mean, not blockbuster, but at least pretty decent. Here we got a live question from Darcy. Thank you very much for the question, Darcy, and joining us. Should I start Mike Evans or Rashad White this week? That's full PPR. That's a good one. What do you think?
Yikes. That's really a tough one. I mean, full PPR makes it a tough sell. I'm going to tell you this, though. Full PPR, Mike Evans has been still terrible this year. He has not been what you bought into. And Rashad White, love him or hate him, he's going to get an elevated role this week. If there's any week for him to start getting some receptions, what he was brought out of college for, it's going to be this week. I'm going to make bold moves, win you championships. I'm going to go with Rashad White.
Consider Rashad White like the old group, the Cranberries. He's only happy when it rains because today it's going to be rainy. It's going to be a perfect conditions for a running back to take hold. He's going to be the lone man in the backfield. I think Rashad White is the perfect play today. And Bandy wanted to chime in. Again, Darcy, thank you for the question. Bandy wanted to chime in. All right, fellas, you start Murray over Perine. It's on your word, Jester. So we're gonna revisit that one.
We're gonna revisit it. I'm gonna write this one down.
Nice. All right, Fred. Let's go to the next one. Another brick in the waller. Brian Robinson Jr. versus Atlanta or Kenyon Drake at Jacksonville.
Well, I think I'm gonna go with. Wait, you said Brian Robinson over Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Either or, I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. We talked about the weather earlier. We said him and Gibson might have a really good day. Kenyon Drake, I think Gus Edwards is still going to get some touches no matter what, even if he's on the snap count. So I'm definitely going Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I mean, Kenyon Drake really had his opportunity to solidify himself in this backfield and hasn't really done so. He's had a few decent spots. But, yeah, I think I agree again with the Atlanta soft defense. All right, this is what I like to tell a lot of people. Joe, buck yourself. For Justin, it's Mike Carter versus Chicago or Eli Mitchell versus New Orleans.
Oh, it's Mike Carter versus Chicago. It's not even close. Mike Carter right now. I mean, we got to remember last year, the Jester remembers this. Mike Carter went absolutely off when Mike White was in control of that offense. He was getting dump off passes. He was having league breaking, games. He was making everybody clamor for more Mike Carter. So go out, make sure Mike Carter is in your lineups. Elijah Mitchell, love the guy. Obviously, I do. But he is still the second best running back on this team. Mike Carter is the best running back on his.
All right. I like that one. Good morning to you, Albert, as well. Appreciate you joining us this morning. We are getting, if you got lineup questions, get them in now. Let's go now to Fred from Beats by DeAndre. It's Sanjay Perrine. We just brought this up at Tennessee or Rashad White at Cleveland.
Boy, that's a good one.
Talking about both of them dominating the show today.
Yeah, man. They're both great starts today. Both going to get all the snaps. I'm still going to lean towards Rashad White. I just think Tennessee is that good, and they're playing for something well. Rashad White, like you said, with the weather and Mike Evans just not playing well, I'll go with Rashad White. Yeah,
you got to respect Tennessee, like I said, so just keep winning all games. So, yeah, good team for sure. All right, let's go to Justin Young, Pretty, and Singletary. It's A.J. Dillon at Philly or Cam Akers at KC.
Oh, man. Mulligan, can I get a pass on this one? Can I hit a different one? Young, Pretty, and Singletary. Put in Cam Akers. I'm sorry, Bandy. Kyron Williams ain't shit. Cam Akers is going to be leading the way. This team is going to be doing nothing but running the ball if whatever Bryce Perkins does. And at the end of the day, Kansas City is going to run up the score so much that they're going to let Cam Akers just run for 50 yards. Whatever. I don't care. It's going to be that type of a game. A.J. Dillon has shown us nothing. Trust me, I was one of the guys on the A.J. Dillon train. I look like a big, fat loser right now because that was such a bad train to get on. It literally lost its wheels after the first stop. With Cam Akers. Big L right there, buddy, for the AJ.
Big fat loser. Get off the loser and go to Fred. How about Bourbon Myers wants to know Drake London at Washington or Paris Campbell versus Steelers?
Well, I don't like neither one of them. Honestly, starting wise, I don't like the Washington game. Just like I said earlier, I just don't like it. Matt Ryan's in there, so you know what? I would take a flyer on Paris Campbell versus Pittsburgh. I mean, it just seems like the better way to go. I'm not confident with either one, but I'm going to go with Paris Campbell.
You should be confident. Paris Campbell hot as of late, and the Steelers dead last against fantasy receivers. So Paris Campbell, I think, is a best start for sure. All right, let's go to Justin for the next one. Kittle, Big Town. It's Mac Hollins at Seattle or Jahan Dotson versus ATL.
I'm going to go with Mac Hollins, and this is because Jahan Dotson can leave you with a big fat zero this week. Mac Hollins, very less likely to leave you with a big fat zero. Like the Jester said, they have a ton of people on the IR, and Mac Hollins is not one of them. So he is one guy out there with a pulse. So Derek Carr has to get it to him, right? Hopefully. I don't know. But if there was one guy that I would predict to have at least 4 catches and some yards, it would be Mac Hollins, not Jahan Dotson.
All right. Bandy wanted to shout back at you, Justin. We shall see. And that train seemed like it was going somewhere for sure. Albert has a question for you, Fred. Need 2 full PPR. ETN, Najee, Rashad White. So 2 out of the 3 there, Fred. What do you think?
Let's do process of elimination. I'm definitely going to go Rashad White. We've spoken about him. Good play. Keep him going. We got Jacksonville going against, let me see here, against Baltimore. And we got Pittsburgh and Colts. For me, I'm gonna start Etienne. Najee's one game almost had me fooled. I was gonna pick him really quickly, but I'll stay with Etienne. I just think he's gonna get more out the backfield. He seems to get passes and runs.
Yes, Ravens are surprisingly good against the run, but again, they're notoriously not very good against the pass. So you could see some uptick as far as Etienne in the passing game. for sure. Colts D is pretty tough. So, yeah, I think I would agree with your assessment on that one. All right, let's go to the next one, Justin. This one from this is actually from our Instagram, my bad. Young Israelite. You want to know Darnell Mooney at the New York Jets or Treylon Burks versus the Bengals?
So, no Justin Fields kind of solidifies that this has got to be Treylon Burks. I don't want Trevor Siemian throwing me the ball. So I'm going to go with the guy, Ryan Tannehill. Got him, I think it was like 6 catches, 100+ yards the last time he was out there. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Treylon Burks on this one. Hopefully the breakout train keeps a chugging down the line and doesn't get stopped like the A.J. Dillon train did.
Like that. All right, let's go to Fred. 7 minutes in Evans. He's got to flex one of these guys. David Montgomery at the Jets, Deebo Samuel at the Saints, or Terry McLaurin versus Atlanta.
All right, so we're gonna process of elimination, throw Montgomery out. Now Deebo or McLaurin, that's a good one here. You know what? Only due to the fact that I go heavily on the weather. I'm gonna go with Deebo Samuel. I think Garoppolo's going to use him a lot more. I don't like McLaurin only because of like the weather. We're trying to say we're going to run the ball, run. So I definitely take Deebo Samuel. It's pretty nice out there in New Orleans.
And correction to the guys in the booth, it's versus New Orleans. Their 49ers are at home today. All right, let's go to the next one to Justin. For Give and Fournette, you got to flex one of these guys. George Pickens at the Colts. Darius Slayton at Dallas. Yep, can't.
Late.
A little late for that. Or Eli Mitchell versus New Orleans.
It's gonna be Pickens. Pickens offers more.
What's going on here?
You're all fired, producers. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Pickens. I mean, Eli Mitchell doesn't offer much as far as a pass catching running back, and Pickens with Pickett has been phenomenal. So you got to go with George Pickens.
All right, so Bandy is young, so he doesn't understand the 7 minutes in Evans. So it's like 7 minutes in heaven. I don't know if the kids play that game anymore, but I think that was what the joke was. Let's go to Fred. The next one, ChristianMingle.com. You got to flex one of these guys. Kareem Hunt versus Tampa, or you got Darnell Mooney at the Jets, or Devin Carter at Arizona.
Man, I don't like anybody on this one. Oh my God. I don't know, man. I won't do Darnell Mooney and Devin Carter. You know what? By process of elimination, I'm gonna go with Kareem Hunt. I just think they need to run the ball a little bit more. I don't know what happened in Cleveland this year. They seem to be breaking down. They should go back to what they were doing before and run 30 times a game.
Got you. All right, let's go to Justin. Finish these up. Brady in the water. It's Foster Moreau at Seattle or Cole Kmet at the Jets.
Oh, yikes. I'm going to go with Foster Moreau because Seattle still has like one of the worst, if not the worst team against tight ends this year for fantasy. So, I mean, Cole Kmet, kind of the same thing with Darnell Mooney. You kind of throw away. I mean, I know somebody's going to get the ball, but I'm just not going to consistently try and pick who's going to get it. I'll go with Foster Moreau, who's probably going to get the touches needed to get a touchdown maybe in Seattle.
Seattle notoriously bad against tight ends. I believe they're 31st. Don't quote me because I don't have it in front of me. Go to the Jester for the next one. The Acres Dozen wants to know Ravens at Jacksonville or Commanders versus
Atlanta. All right, so let me see here. Ravens. Well, I would have picked the Commanders usually, but I think Chase Young makes a big difference. I think the Ravens just needed a little bit more. They're trying to stay ahead of the Bengals in their division. So I'll go with the Ravens over Jacksonville. I think they're going to play a really tough game today.
I think both of these are good defense. I don't think you can go wrong either way, honestly, on either one of these choices today. Commanders be good play because of the weather. Could see some fumbles, that kind of thing as well. So let's go to Justin, finish these up. We got our last one here. Sir Mixon a lot. It's Dolphins versus America's team versus the Texans, or the Chiefs versus the Rams.
Wow. So you know what? Even though I like America's team, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because the Rams are currently on quarterback 3. They're on wide receiver 5. They're on tight end, whatever the hell number it is. I mean, they're wheeling out the practice squad out there. It's going to be an easy day for the Chiefs. The Dolphins, say what you will about Houston. At least they have number 1 or number 2 at every other position other than quarterback.
And I'll say it again. We talked about it. We'll talk about it a second in the matchup, but it's a sneaky trap game, man. I feel like Kyle Allen might have a weird, decent day today. Fucking piss me off. All right, we got Mikey Bets in the building. We want to get paid today, right, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to make some money. We missed him last week. It's time to get paid. Let's bring him in, Mikey Bets. Mikey Bets, welcome into the studio, my brother. Appreciate you coming in fresh off the honeymoon.
Hey, guys, what's up? Appreciate it. Back and ready to roll, ready to get some winners. That roulette intro, just remind, I just hit 760 on 13 black. So there you go.
Nice. Look at that. See?
Yeah. We're still coming down off that high.
You're gonna bring that mojo over and into the audience today. By the way, Brad's checking in to take you guys aren't excited for the White Simeon game today. Yes, for sure. Indeed. All right, Mikey Bets, talk about how we gonna get paid today.
All right, so I got a few. I think I have 8. I'm gonna just drop them like I usually do. So we're gonna start off.
Before you go, my bad. I can't believe I forgot. Let's bring up Mikey's record. I think I forgot because he didn't come in last week. Let's talk about Mikey for the season. Look at this. You want to talk about getting paid on this show? 152 to 62. That's pretty damn good. I mean, I have to say. So it's pretty good odds if you're going to bet. Go with Mikey Bets. All right, go ahead, my brother. My bad. I had to give you your correct intro there.
Well, I appreciate it, and hopefully we can boost those up. Hopefully the post-honeymoon's not a loss. Here we go. Austin Hooper, over 20.5 receiving yards. Derrick Henry, over 99.5 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson, over 52.5 rushing yards. Michael Carter, over 42.5 rushing yards. Will Dissly, over 17.5 receiving yards. Justin Herbert, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, over 36.5 receiving yards. And then A.J. Brown at night tonight, over 71.5 receiving yards.
Will Dissly, huh? Wow. That was
Love my boy, Willie.
Big Montana.
He pulled that name out of a hat, boy. If you were looking for somebody to stream, Mikey says, grab yourself some Will Dissly this week. Yes, all right. Sir. Well, at least if you want over 17 yards. All right.
18 yards. That's all I need.
Hey, all right. Well, there you go. All right. Hey, you know what? Time to make some picks. Let's do the pick segment.
You could ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Do you?
All right. Well, let's see if you're feeling lucky this week. Let's talk about last week, though. Let's look at last week's records for our picks. Look who had a good week last week. Mr. Jesus, 10-4, leading the way. Me and Greg both at 9-5. Fred at 8-6, and also Nick at 8-6 as well. So that means for the season, me and Jesus are leading the way, and looks like we're getting a little bit of separation now. 4 games behind us are Fred and Nick, and only 1 game behind them is Greg, so he's starting to catch up a little bit. All right, let's get to this game breakdown. Enough bragging about how well I picked. Let's talk about that Browns-Bucks game. Justin, we'll start with you on this one. The Browns lead this series 6-4. In this match, the last time they played was 2018. The Bucks won 26-23. And I'm sorry, I think it was Bucks at Browns, if I said that incorrectly. Bucks are favored in this matchup by 3.5, and the over/under is 42. What say you?
Yeah, so Brady is divorced and he's undefeated as a newly single man. So, I think he's going to have another winning week this week. The Browns, I don't know what their season means to them anymore. I think it's just getting Deshaun Watson in there now. To the Bucks, they're looking at that division and they're going, wait, we just got to deal with this? All right, let's keep on adding some wins where we can get them. And this is one of those games where I think the Browns are going to go out there and, kind of shit the bed at the end. And they're just going to be hoping Deshaun Watson comes in and saves them for the rest of the season. So I'm going with the Bucks on this one.
Well, Jacoby Brissett's swan song, and I do agree. I think he'll be swanning himself an interception on the way out the door. Fred, what say you on this matchup?
Tampa. I totally agree. I think I started to feel like a lot of teams are looking towards the draft now, and Cleveland is possibly one of them. Like, okay, let's reset for next season.
Indeed. Mikey, who you like?
Well, the Bucks, like Justin said, undefeated. That's been divorced.
Feeling free with the shackles off. I like Brady as well. He is on it today. I like them in a wet matchup for sure. Let's go to the Falcons at Washington, another rainy game. Commanders lead the series 16-10-1. Interesting enough, the Falcons have won 7 out of the last 9 in this matchup, crazy enough. Last time they did play, though, was 2021. The Commanders won 34-30. Commanders are favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 40.5. Fred, what say you?
I'm going to go with Washington. I think they just need it more. They're playing for a playoff spot. Atlanta is as well because they're in the same division as the Bucks. But I just like Washington at home. They're 5-0, and they won 5 straight games. Atlanta won 5 games, but only 1 on the road, so that gives the edge to Washington.
I don't know what you're pausing for. You've already made these picks. So anyway, what do you say, Mike?
Hey, it's for TV, man. Like,
I like the Commanders as well. I think I'm gonna go with the Commanders here.
Okay, like it, Justin.
Yeah, Commanders all the way.
All right, everyone likes the Commanders in this particular matchup.
That's not
again, just like in the offense, or excuse me, the defense is what I meant to say on Atlanta. It's just so bad that in Commanders at least is somewhat mid-pack, even without Chase Young today. So I still like this Washington team to keep rolling in a tough matchup. All right, let's go to Cincinnati at Tennessee. It's got a lot of playoff implications, so I like this matchup. Titans lead the series 40-36-1. The last time they played was last year in the playoffs when the Bengals won 19-16. Bengals actually have won 6 out of the last 8 in this matchup. They're favored by 1.5. The over-under is 43. Mikey Bets, what say you on this matchup?
I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I do like the Titans, but I'm going to go with the Bengals, minus 1.5. But look for a big game from Derrick Henry, like I said. I think Derrick Henry is going to blow up today.
Okay, yeah. This is his kind of weather, his kind of game. I do like that. What do you say, Justin?
Yeah, we'll go with the Bengals as well. I think this is going to be a tough game, but the Bengals have more weapons to go against the defense than the Titans have against the Bengals defense.
What do you say, Fred?
I believe in the Tennessee Titans and their rushing abilities and their defensive prowess. I think I just picking Tennessee. I just think they're a better team today.
They're just one of those teams that just knows how to win, man. That's the one thing about Tennessee I'll have to say. So I agree with you, Fred. I'm going to go with Tennessee in this matchup. Greg does as well. Nick going with the Bengals. We're all split in that particular matchup. All right, let's go to the game of the day, the one I'm the most excited to talk about. The Houston Texans come to America's team to play the Miami Dolphins. Interesting enough, the Texans lead this series 8-2. Damn, they own the Dolphins. Last time they played, though, the Dolphins won was 2021. Dolphins won 17-9. Dolphins are favored by 14. I do not like that. The over-under is 47. I think that's too much, quite frankly. We talked about this a minute ago. I feel like we're in a bad spot for a trap game. I don't see us losing, but I definitely see a bit of a struggle coming off the bye. Looking a little bit past this competition. I mean, it's fair to do so. I would say, it is the Houston Texans. It is the Miami Dolphins who are playing well. But, again, I believe in my team. I believe we will win. Little nervous, however, about this point spread if we'll cover. But, Justin, what say you on this matchup?
Yeah, somebody believes in their team when they have to go on a long spiel about it and then say, "I believe in my team." Sounds like they might be the kryptonite there, but I would not put it in the Texans' hands this week. I don't think that they have what it takes to win this game. I can see it being a lot closer than 14 points, but at the end of the day, it's still the Texans, and Miami's got way too many players. I mean, if they have to turn up the heat, they'll turn up the heat is really what I'm saying.
Fred, what say you?
I totally agree. I don't think Miami should have a big problem today. It's their game to win. I think they easily go 8-3.
All right. What do you say, Mikey?
Who do I like here? Why did I just blank out? Oh, yeah. I like Texans plus 14. I love Texans plus 14. And, yeah, obviously I think the Dolphins are going to win this game easily.
Yeah, it's the history, believe it or not. Like I said, Texans played Dolphins well for some reason. So we'll see what happens today. Hopefully we do cover and look good. Look good while we do it. All right, let's go to the Bears at the Jets. The Bears lead the series 9-3. The last time they played was 2018. The Bears won 24-10. They've won 5 of these in a row, believe it or not. The Jets are favored by 7, and the over-under is 38.5. What say you, Fred?
Yes! The Jets get back on track this week. We're not going to be throwing no errant throws and all this craziness. It'll be defense, running the ball, couple of completions. Let's go, Jets. We get it back right. Go 7-4 today. JETS!
Yeah. We shall see. All right, what do you say, Mikey? Who do you like?
Bears are going to win this game. It's going to be an easy win for us. We got Trevor Siemian in there. He knows how to run the. We're going to win. We're going to win. Go Bears.
Forget the analysis. We're just
no
win,
Justin Fields. That helps.
By the way, Bandy wanted to comment. You blacked out because it's so damn early, Mikey. That's what Bandy was. That's why you're blacking out. I agree with you. It is a little early. Justin, what say you? Who do you like in this matchup?
Hey, Mikey, did you get the Starbucks today, or are you going back to the Dunkin' Donuts? Like, what do you got to there, bro?
Today's homemade coffee. Today's homemade coffee because I was too late to run. So.
Well, that's why you're blacking out. You don't have enough caffeine in there for
TSS mug.
Not enough sugar.
He needs the TSS mug. That's the real issue.
I got one.
That's it. Well, it's going to be a JETS day. I do not believe in the Trevor Siemian revenge game. He was only on the team 1 year, and I don't think he started at all for him. But, yeah, it's not going to be very close. The Jets are going to be wiping him out, and everybody's going to be reconsidering Zach Wilson as a draft pick.
All right, this makes me sick to say it, so I won't say much. Just Jets.
JETS, say it, Jason. JETS, Jets.
I refuse. Brock, the biggest farce. I've already said it. They're the biggest farce of this league. I can't wait till we play them last week. All right, Broncos at the Panthers. Broncos lead this series 6-1. Last time they played was 2020. The Broncos won 32-27. They've won 4 in a row from Carolina. The Broncos are favored by 1, and the over-under is 36. Mikey, what say you on this one?
I like the Broncos here. I love the Broncos. It's going to be easy, so go Broncos.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I do think it's going to be easy. I do like the Broncos as well. Justin, what do you say in this matchup?
Russell Wilson is not going to make it easy on that team. Yeah, I'm talking about the Broncos. I think they'll win this game, but if they lose it, consider what they spent on a guy to lose to the Panthers and go 3-8. Consider it at that point. Oh,
right. I think that's already been considered, I'm sure. Fred, what say you?
I don't know. Justin got me thinking like, yo, is this guy really that bad? Where have I been? But I think Denver still pulls it out. Russell Wilson is not that bad. I'm looking at his stats. He's better than Baker Mayfield. So, whoever Carolina brings out, let's go Denver.
That's setting a high standard there, Fred.
He really is. He really truly is. We all like the Broncos today for sure in this matchup. We do have a question here. Justin, I'm going to kick it to you. This is from the Twin Network. Thanks for bringing your question. We appreciate it. Should you start Marquise Goodwin or Evan Ingram? Note he has Geno starting at QB. Loves the show. Appreciate you, Twin Network, for tuning in and the question. Justin, what say you?
Yeah, Twin, I appreciate you too, man. And I know that if you got Marquise Goodwin on your team, you're hoping for that touchdown. So I'll tell you this. If you're down by a lot of points, just throw him in there because after the Thanksgiving game, some people are already down by like 60. But if you're not and you're looking for like a good, solid floor, throw in Ingram. I think he's going to have a decent game. I'm predicting at least maybe four catches and possibly throw on a touchdown. He could have a pretty good game against this Baltimore defense.
Yeah, got a couple of good options there, I think, today. Vandy wanted to chime in. He's getting Justin a Russell Wilson jersey for Christmas. I think that's
I need some kindling.
Right up his alley for sure. All right, let's go to the next matchup. Ravens at the Jags. The Jags lead this series 12-10. Last time they played was 2020. Ravens won 40-14. Ravens are favored by 3.5. The over/under is 43.5. Fred, what say you?
I'm going Baltimore all day. Another team like Jacksonville that I think is looking forward to the draft. Time to get their draft positioning correct. And Baltimore is still playing for something, so let's go Baltimore.
Mikey, who you like?
I feel like this is a trap game. I'm just going to be the little rat that's going to go get the cheese and come right out. Baltimore's going to win. Let's go.
It could be a trap game, though. You are right. Jacksonville historically has played the Ravens pretty solidly. However, I don't think today's that day. I like the Ravens. What do you say, Justin?
Yeah, I think Fred hit the nail right on the head. One team's playing for the playoffs. One team is playing for a draft pick. So I think we're going to see the Baltimore Ravens win.
Again, for both. How ironic. Yep, indeed. All right, let's get on to the one of the 4 o'clocks, Justin. The Rams at the Chiefs. This would be a good matchup. Chiefs lead the series 7-5. Last time they played was 2018. And, man, how could we forget this? If you were a fantasy owner in this matchup, 2018, the Rams won 54-51. What a great game having anyone in that matchup. Definitely probably not going to be that today. The Chiefs are favored by 15.5, and the over/under is 41.5. Justin, what say you?
Yeah, I remember that game because I think I was down like 50 points or something, and then it ended up being like Travis Kelce went for like 60, and so did Tyreek, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, man, how do you bet against the Chiefs in this one? The Rams have nobody. Yeah, Chiefs all the way. Keep it simple.
Fred?
Chiefs at home, Chiefs all day.
Mikey?
Chiefs, the points, and the over.
Who can win it like the Chiefs? Nobody. It's definitely them all day today. Chiefs going to kill the Rams. All right, let's go to the Chargers at the Cardinals, and I think this one could be an interesting fantasy bonanza, I think, with these defenses not playing all that great. Chargers lead this series 10-4. Last time they played was 2018. The Chargers won 45-10. They've won 4 out of the last 5 between these two teams. Chargers are favored by 2.5, and the over/under is 48.5. Mikey, who you like?
Lock of the year for me, Chargers -3. Love it.
Ooh, lock of the year, he said. Lock it in. Justin, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. Chargers need to get going to get in that playoff race, and this is their get-go right here. Plus, the Cardinals are trying to get rid of Cliff Kingsbury, so lose a couple more games, boys, and you're good to go.
All right. Tyler's free to play whatever he wants. Fred, what do you say?
I'm going with the LA Chargers, but I think it's going to be a really good game, and I think they have a high fantasy output in points.
I totally agree with you, actually. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's going to be a good fantasy bonanza type game. But if Mikey Bets tells me it's the lock of the year, I'm going Mikey Bets. Let's go with the Chargers. Lock it in for sure. Again, lock of the year says a lot of things for sure. Let's go to Justin's favorite matchup of the day. The Saints at the 49ers. 49ers lead the series 49, ironically enough, 27-2. Last time they played was in 2020. The Saints won 27-13. The 49ers today are favored by 9, and the over-under is 43. What do you say, Justin?
Now, this scares the living shit out of me because this smells trap game all the way. 9 points against a decent team in the Saints. I think it'll be a lot closer than that, but 49ers obviously are going to get their 50th W over the Saints this week.
Okay, lock it in, he says. Fred, what say you?
I agree with Justin. I'm giving them the edge. Plus, they're at home. Great weather. New Orleans has to travel, and I think they just needed it. I think 49ers are fighting for that division, so they wanted more.
Mikey?
49ers minus 8.5. I trust it. I love it. I love Jimmy G. I used to hate him, so now I have to get on that train and just ride it.
Yeah.
Get up on the train and ride it, as he said. I agree. 49ers for sure today. Lock that one in. That could be. I think that's your lock of the year for sure.
It sounded a little weird saying that about Jimmy G hopping on the train. Thinking about it now, it wasn't the best thing to say.
It's all good, bro. It's early. Like
he's got porn stars on that train.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Raiders versus the Seahawks. The Raiders lead the series 29-26. Last time they played was 2018. Seahawks won 27-3. Seahawks are favored by 4. The over/under is 47.5. Fred, what say you?
Oakland wide receivers are hobbled. Josh Jacobs may have a big day. And they finally snapped their 3-game losing streak, but they start a new one because Seattle is going to beat them today at home. Just like San Francisco, they are fighting each other for the division. I think Seattle wins.
All right, Mikey?
I love Seattle. I'll take them. Let's go Seattle. -4 as well.
I agree. I like Seattle on the matchup. Justin, what say you?
Yeah, I don't think it will be handily, but at this point, Derek Carr still does not know how to win. So I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, agreed. Some teams just don't know how. Some teams do. They are definitely not one of them. Let's go to the 8 o'clock one. Packers at the Eagles. Packers lead this series 28-17. Last time they played was in 2020. The Packers won 30-16. Eagles are favored by 6.5. Over/under is 46. Justin, what say you?
Eagles. So I think it'll be a pretty fantasy bonanza-esque game. I'm not looking at A.J. Brown to be much of a factor in this game. I think Jair Alexander could have him locked down all game long. For me, it's just the Eagles have a better overall team. They have a better defense. Their interior line just got Ndamukong Suh and Linville Joseph. We talked about that on Friday's show. And the team wants to win. Like Jalen Hurts, he's a winner. You know, when we really look down on it, you know, last week was a real defining drive, that end where he decided, fuck it, I'm just going to take it myself. That's what winners do. And I think Aaron Rodgers, he wants to play victim card all season long. Well, guess what? Go take your card and go to Cabo, man, because we don't want to fucking see you on our fantasy teams if you're going to be pulling that type of bullshit.
All right, a little tough feelings here on Sunday morning. Like, might as well get
the first year I got that guy in a draft, and he screws me like this.
I'm gonna tell Justin to lay down on the couch and charge him for an hour. All right, Fred, what say you? Who you like?
I like Philly. I think they'll be a little bit closer because they're still both playing for something. Technically, Green Bay's still in the wild card race, and Philly sees Dallas creeping up closer to them. So I'm gonna pick Philly, but not by much.
Mikey, who you like?
Yeah, I love the Eagles. I hate the Packers. Packers should just not
pretty much.
Say it, Mikey. Say it.
They should just go fuck themselves. I hate Aaron Rodgers. He should go to jail. He should be arrested. It's easy. I don't even know how he's still playing. Whatever.
We all like the Eagles in that matchup, sorry, for sure. Let's go to the last one. Steelers versus the Colts, the Monday night. Steelers lead this series 26-6. Wow, they own the Colts. Last time they played was in 2020. The Steelers won 28-24. Steelers actually have won 7 in a row in this matchup. Colts are favored by 2.5, and the over/under is 39. Mikey, who you like?
Oh, I like the Colts. I love the Colts. I love Jeff Saturday. He's the best coach. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Jeff Saturday for the win.
All right, loving Jeff Saturday. Justin, what do you say?
I like Jeff Saturday too, but he was probably better off being Jeff Friday Night Lights. I think that he'll probably end up not being the head coach after this year, but Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin's going to be the head coach because he is a good head coach. And the Steelers, they have more weapons, man. I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor, but at the end of the day, you got like zero in the receiver department. Michael Pittman, he's been a non-factor this year. Alec Pierce was a nice talking point for a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers.
Fred, who you like?
You're gonna go Steelers? Okay, well I'm gonna go with the Colts. They're a game and a half out of the wild card. They're playing at home. I mean, they just have something more to play for. Tomlin looked like he was giving up the other day at his conference, when he talked to the reporters. So they're also looking for a nice draft pick.
I think, to your point, Justin, you're right. As far as receivers, they don't have a lot of weapons, but I think defensively, I like them a tad bit better, and they're playing at home. So I'm going to go with the Colts. Also going to agree with Fred, not making him the lone wolf in that particular matchup. Fred, we got a question here from Apple Pie Alex. Then in PPR, should I start Tyler Lockett, Mike Evans, or Christian Kirk? Now, I need 2, so it's 2 out of the 3 there.
As soon as I seen the question, we just had a long conversation at the beginning of the show about Mike Evans, how he is not performing, and we're going to see a lot of Rachaad White today. So I'm going to pick the other 2 just by knocking out Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, and Christian Kirk.
You got like Tyler Lockett going against the Raiders defense today for sure. Christian Kirk, again, the Ravens secondary, it's been known to give up big plays. So again, could see a few hookups there. Justin, one more before we go to our Sunday mass. It's from Evan. He wants to know half PPR, Chris Olave or Juju. That's a good one.
That is a good one. It breaks my heart, but I'm going to go Chris Olave because I think they're going to be in the game longer. Juju, he's already got an injury. I think that, if they go up 24-0, they're probably going to start pulling people and start throwing into seconds, the backups, the Sky Moores and everything like that. So I'll probably go with Chris Olave. And I actually have a question for you because this came in through my Twitter feed while we're repping. Dameon Pierce or Samaje Perine in non-PPR?
That's easy. So I don't even need to look. It doesn't matter. No, but honestly, and I'm gonna, I'll tell you this. And by the way, Evan, thank you so much. Apple Pie Alex, guys, thank you so much for checking in and bringing in your questions. We do appreciate it. Thank you for the Twitter question too, from wherever that is. But I'll just tell you right now, Miami is definitely very tough against the run. Period. Nick Chubb would have been basically had nothing other than that late who gives a crap touchdown at the end of the game. We pretty much shut them down. I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think we're like 15th or 13th or maybe even 12th against fantasy running backs. So again, decent against the run, not so good against the pass, but that's one thing we can do well. And like you alluded to earlier, that's the only thing that they can do. So we're going to stack up against it. Let's make Kyle Allen beat us today. I think that's just an obvious defensive ploy for sure. All right, so, and before we go, thank you. I'm sorry, before Sunday Mass, the AL Champeratos did have a question. I'll bring it up to you, Fred. He goes, so Houston inability to stop the run, does it affect Tua this weekend? So, sorry, I didn't bring the question up. So does that affect Tua this weekend? What he's saying is, would you, because they're so ineffective, they're going to run the ball, does that mean Tua doesn't throw that much today? Would you go for a hungry Lamar or Herbert over Tua to start this week?
Well, I do like Herbert. We spoke about that game. It might be an explosion with fantasy. I wouldn't, if you have to, I wouldn't not start him. I mean, their strength is in their receivers. So you don't ever want to just, Hill and Waddle, like, I don't care what team you like or don't like. They're great tandem. So no, if you have Tua, you start him. And I don't like Lamar, but I do like Herbert. So, but yeah, if you got Tua, start Tua.
I think I would go Herbert over Tua, only because of game script. Hopefully the Dolphins will be up. Won't need to keep constantly throwing to keep into this matchup where I think Herbert may have to. And the same with Lamar. Again, they're going to get up more than likely on Jacksonville, not have to keep throwing. And we'll, but Herbert may have to. So Herbert would be the guy I'd actually go with. Thank you so much for the question. He texted me that earlier, and I'm glad that you chimed in because I totally forgot about it. I appreciate you. All right, let's go. It's Sunday, guys. Let's close the show. All pray. Get your hands together. It's time for Fantasy G.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters.
Good morning, TSS family, and welcome to the Week 12 Gospel of the Week. Let's get you started with Geno Smith going against the Las Vegas Raiders. We have Geno coming in with 4 interceptions, and the Raiders have only had 6 takeaways all year long. He's incredibly efficient, and this team is very inept on defense. Look for Geno to have a big day this week coming off his big day against Tampa. Then we got wide receiver, his running mate, DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf averages 2 points extra on average with Geno Smith throwing him the ball, and the Raiders have allowed 20 points plus 2 fantasy wide receivers. Look for him to be a big play this week. Then we got Austin Hooper at tight end. Austin Hooper had a big week last week, 2 touchdowns, and he was been targeted 11 times, twice in the red zone in these past 2 weeks. Look for Austin Hooper's role to continue to expand into Week 12. Then we have the Jets defense coming in. They're 7th in the rankings, and they're 3rd ever since Zach Wilson took over. Now Zach Wilson is gone. Now we have Mike White, some competence in there. Hopefully this means that the defense gets to rest more and gets to make more valuable plays. And finally, we have the running back of the week and my play of the week. And I'm going to say a little verse for this man. On the 12th week of the NFL, Austin 3:16 says Jeff Wilson's going to whoop Houston Texans' ass. Now give me a hell yeah.
And that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so.
Let's go. That gets you pumped up for Sunday. I don't know what will for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us today. Hope you are woken the hell up because it's time to get things rolling. Bandy like that shit. Hell yeah. Let's go. Ready to run through the wall. Mikey Bets, appreciate you joining us this week. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday for our waiver wire show. Hit that subscribe button. We're giving away the Jester Stack. Lots of good prizes in there for you guys to hit down or give away, whatever you want to do with them. We appreciate you guys, and we are
We're on a mission. Right. That's because you have Mike. We're on a mission.
Pull up the air because we're leaving Broadway.
We're on a mission.
Put on your life vest and stop makeup. Put on your life vest and stop makeup. Put on your life vest and stop makeup. TSS fantasy. Like put on your life vest and stop makeup.
We're on a mission.
Yeah, that's what it is.